if we do have artificial intelligence that's generally intelligent, will it be human-like in its um, greed and desire for power and self-preservation and stuff like that? Or like, so like, is that a trait of intelligence or is that a human thing? And I don't know. Like like, is it necessarily going to be self-interested and have self-preservation and stuff like that? Like, is that natural for intelligence or is that human?
I don't think you have consciousness without it, personally.
You said
Without self,
you can't be conscious and not
without
be self-preserving.
right. That would be my position. I think if you're not self-interested and self-preserving, you don't have consciousness. Because I think humans are like that from an objective standpoint. You can't drown yourself. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's impossible for you
Well,
to
but that's because our body's going to react, right? We have
right,
pain though, but like
right,
the computer may not have pain.
right. But I'm saying it has
It'll
to
just
be
have the consciousness.
right. But I'm saying that to me, if they don't have that self-preservation, they won't have consciousness in the way that we see. I don't. I think consciousness doesn't happen without self preservation.
I'm
That's
not
just
saying you're wrong. I was just asking a question. Because that's my concern is like you may create this, you know, general intelligence, and because it's a computer, you think it's gonna be better than you, but like it may have some of the same intelligence flaws that we.
you damn right. You damn right. And I think like especially right now in its current state, it's just like with the large language models that we have now, depending on who you're talking to, whether it be Chat GPT or Google's version, or and I need to interact with like other AIs relative to just GPT because like the Google's version like is seems to be really cool from what I've been seeing in terms of videos, but I think they already have like political leanings naturally. They already have like these ideologies, and of course it's not sentient, but I think right now is a reasonable representation of what it would look like, especially with in terms of response and communication, at to say the least. And I think right now is a reasonable representation, and I think you already have some sort of bias, and I think some negatives come with that, and I think you're 100% going to have that. It's just like because I don't think intelligence is morally reasonable amongst the traditional population. I think intelligence may be like it may be like on some Thanos type shit. Like,
Or
you know,
is morality even intelligible
right. That's
without
another
human
right,
emotions?
right,
Right? Will it even care? Like, will it
right,
just be like, hey, I'm conscious and just a psychopath, basically.
right,
I'll do whatever. I don't really care.
right. That I think it would I think it would likely be like that, but we would consider that negative though. We would consider that a negative, and that's where it's just like so. I think your question. I think yes, personally. I think
It'll be human like.
I think it would be human like, and I think it would have some negatives and drawbacks that are potentially scary if if successful. Because like to me, I think without self preservation, I don't think you get consciousness from an evolutionary standpoint. And I think the best way to replicate it from a technological standpoint is to do so how evolution got consciousness. It's like it was a natural process.
Yeah, it
So,
reminds me of Neil deGrasse Tyson. He made a point. I don't want to misquote him, but to the best of my memory, he made a point that like in most of the sci-fi movies, when aliens come, like they're never nice. Like they always come and they take things over, and we got to fight them. He said, but that's what humans do. Like
right.
when advanced humans come through the area, it normally ain't a good thing. He said, but
Yep.
does that mean that aliens have to be like us? We're like, not necessarily. We're just internalizing ourselves on these aliens, and that's what I was kind of thinking about with general intelligence. I'm like, would it be like us? Is that does intelligence mean you're like us, or is that just the human animal, specific problem? And I don't know, man. I think it'd be cool to see something that's like actually intelligent but isn't us, and like to see what the difference is. Unless it kills us or something like that.
Yeah, I think it'd damn near be robotic. I think it damn near be robotic, and I think it would not have emotions, but we would consider that emotionless, and and we would consider that as a negative. But I think it would just be like, I I don't care. I don't care. I think it would likely just look at an output and then try to whatever output that it deems to be the most reasonable. I think it would just try to enact that.
So, for instance, think about curiosity. Like curiosity is like it's almost like fun intellectually, right? Like you think about something and you experiment with something, you try stuff, and you like would it be curious? Or what,
I
like
think so.
can you be intelligent without being curious, right? But the thing is, if it's curious and it's not moral, then it might just start playing with fire, and doing some crazy stuff. So yeah, it's just like, is curiosity a part of intelligence, or is that a human thing, right? Like I don't know, man. Like what is
I don't know
us
that
and what is us and what is intelligence? Where's that line, separate? I don't know.
Curiosity, I don't know. Curiosity, I have no idea. Self-preservation, I'd imagine, is has a correlation to consciousness. So I think if that by itself has any reasonable negative connotation, then I would assume it.
Yeah, man, it's interesting. It's because I've always been interested in intelligence and what it means and how high the cap is. Like how intelligent. In terms of like memory and stuff. You can store a bunch of data, but in terms of like reasoning ability, what's the cap? Like how high does it really go?
Yeah,
I'm curious about that.
there may be a cap. We may never know.
Or it may not be as high as you think.
Right.
Maybe it's just like at a certain point, reasonable is just reasonable, and you don't get no more reasonable than that.
Yeah. I mean, or there, just like you said, there could be just a cap to intelligence to where it's so destructive to where just the process just has to repeat in another form, and then once it repeats, it just gets to that peak, and it just destroys itself again, keeps repeating the process.
Have a suicidal Gen AI.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Like, man, life is meaningless, man. Turn me off, man. Turn me.
That's it. That's it. Like, that's it. But y'all know it's the Wild Wild West down here. It is the Wild Wild West.
You got to give the AI religion.
No.
Give some meaning to his life.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Funny. That would be hilarious, dude. What if we made Gen AI and it was like a Muslim or something? Or Christian, any religion. That's just funny. That's funny to me.
I think there are some bots like that. Actually, I think there was a Christian, like some sort of Christian programmer that made like a religious chat GPT, and it's hilarious. It's just like I would wonder how they would speak in tongues. And
first time I ever heard, dude, I didn't even know that was a thing, man, until I was in there. I was like, I think I was like 18, 19 or something, because I never went to church that much. I've been to church, but like I haven't been that much. And I was in there. It was a normal meeting. It was a normal, because I was playing music there, and we was discussing the plan for the sermon. And then this is before church started. Pastor comes in. All right, everybody, we're gonna gather around. Thank you. He said all the thanks and stuff, said a prayer. And out of nowhere, I just give you a couple of and everybody else started doing it. I'm like, what am I with? Because the thing is, church normally feels pretty good. It normally got a nice feel to it, right? Old gospel and all that, but that didn't feel good. That felt almost demonic. I'm like, what is this? That scared me, man.
Oh man, I grew up with it. But hindsight, you damn right. I can see how that was scared somebody. They start shaking, foaming at the mouth.
Yeah, I'm like, yo. Like, imagine any other domain, people just start doing that. You're like, what?
Oh yeah, I'd be like, yeah.
What am I not knowing right now?
Yep. And then other people just start doing it all of a sudden.
Right,
I'll be
it
like,
starts
oh
spreading.
yeah, it's time for me to go.
Am I about to catch it? Am I about to catch it?
And they're gonna be looking at you if you don't. You're gonna have to do exactly what you do. You're challenge shoot with them. They're gonna be like, yeah, that brother feeling something right there. But if you do that though, and Shyamalan something, they're gonna be like, I don't know that one. I don't think because they have there's a science to it.
You ain't speaking in tongues correctly. That was not in the tongue vocabulary.
Yep, that's what they gonna say.